Good afternoon. All right, looks like I am live here. Happy holidays. I hope everybody enjoyed a nice Christmas with family and friends. I know that we had a wonderful Christmas for sure. And of course, my stand is a little crooked here. Let me see if I can straighten it up slightly. Well, I always do it the wrong way. Let's try it that way and see if I can get it straight. Hello, Rosie. I'm trying to straighten up my my view here, and I'm just making it worse. Hey, Karen, thanks so much for joining. Merry Christmas, ladies. Hope you had a nice holiday. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah. So I have for you today a fun fold. This is a book fold, and I love this fold just because it is so darn easy. And it's called a book fold because we have what I would call a book binding here. So super easy to create. And this was created using okay, thank you, Rosie. Yeah, I think I got it a little bit straighter anyway. So I created this card using products from the Lighter Than Air suite, and I've used everything in the suite to create the card. And I just love the soft colors in this suite, in the paper especially. So these are the products, and these are going to be in the January to April 2024 mini catalog. And we've got this nice 6x6 paper, the Lighter Than Air Designer Series paper. The colors in this are Azure Afternoon, Balmy Blue, Bubble Bath, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lolly, Petal Pink, and Pool Party. So you can see that lots of pretty colors. And the best part about it is, right, so here's our stamp set and dies. These dies, the small balloons, the heart balloon, and the smaller balloon will actually cut out balloons on the Designer Series paper. So that's like a lot of fun. I love when Stampin' Up! Coordinates, and lots of pretty patterns and colors in here. Hey, Mary, thanks so much for joining. Happy holidays. So just a fun pack of paper, pretty pastel colors. And then, of course, the dies and stamp set are just awesome. So let's get started. So for a book fold, let me find all my little pieces here. And I didn't use a grid paper today. This is my new Glass Mat Studio that I was able to get from Stampin' Up. This will be available. This Glass Mat Studio will be available if you join Stampin' Up! In January during Celebration. So you'll be able to get this for free if you join during Celebration to become a demonstrator. And there's also a silicone mat that goes with it and a cleaning cloth. And I am super enjoying it. But y'all will have to let me know. I see the glare on my screen. If those lights are too distracting, let me know. I'll go back to the paper, grid paper next week, but just wanted to see how it might go. All right, so back to our fun fold. So the book fold, I get all my little pieces out here, measures 11 by 4 1/4, and this is scored at 5 1/2 and 6 3/4 inches. Don't know if you can see that fold there. But that is, creates the book fold. Yeah, I love the paper, Mary. It is so soft and pretty. Just really beautiful. So let's go ahead. I have chosen a couple of prints from the Designer Series paper pack here. A pretty kind of bubble bath diamond print, and then this balmy blue print for the larger part of the card. And I'm going to go ahead and get these glued up and put onto the card base. So I hope everybody had a good holiday. We had a great Christmas. It was quiet, as it usually is for us. And so Mark and I spent the day with my mom and our 2 sons, and it was just a really lovely day. It was just really laid back and relaxing. all except for the cooking part. I did cook a pretty big meal, so we ate really well, you know, on goodies and snacks and appetizers and our meal. But it was just a great day. And I'm a little handicapped here. I've got a Band-Aid on. It's not letting me get traction here. I need to scoot this over just a bit. There we go. I think I got it. And I'll get this piece adhered down. And all of the measurements for this card will be on my blog tomorrow. So be sure to stop by and check that out. Yeah, so Santa kind of spoiled my husband and I this year for Christmas. Our boys, I can't believe they did this, but they got us new iPads for Christmas, which I thought was extremely generous of them and sweet. Mark and I both needed new iPads. Ours were getting some age on them, and we just hadn't really gotten around to ordering them. But I thought that was like really, really special of them to do. Hey, Faith, no worries. You're not late. Just getting started here. So I'm creating a bookfold card using the hot air balloon bundle and the lighter than air suite of products. And it's just a really fun, uplifting set. Yeah, so Santa really spoiled us this year for sure. That was an unexpected surprise. Get these panels glued on. And the puppies were excited. They know when it's a special occasion, a special day. And of course they were helping us open gifts and whatnot. They like to be helpers. I'm just making sure that my edges are straight here on these pieces I'm gluing up. Okay, so that is the front of the card. And let me get a little bit of stamping done here. And if I can find the cap for my glue, there we go. All right, make sure that's my inner panel. That is, and that's the mat. And let me get my envelope here. And we'll do just a little bit of stamping. So what I've done here from the dies, I've pre-cut some pieces here. I used this larger balloon die to cut out a balloon shape from one of the pattern papers. Mom, you might try adjusting the video speed or closing out and going back in if your video is freezing up. I appear to be fine on my end. But anyway, I cut one of the balloons out from the pattern paper using this die. I have also cut this pretty banner here, as well as, I'm calling this a sentiment label. That's what I'm using it for. And then I pre-stamped and cut out one of the baskets for the balloon. So just to share with you what I did there, let me go ahead and get some things stamped up. Bring in a scrap piece of paper. Faith, I saw the picture of your little baby Christmas cactus in bloom. Such a pretty little bloom. And this sentiment says wish big. And I'm going to stamp that in fresh freesia onto our little sentiment label. And the sentiment is already kind of curved. And excuse my head if I get in the way. I'm going to try to get this as even as I can on the label. Yeah, that was a pretty little bloom, Faith. It was like a pink color. Really pretty. My grandmother's Christmas cactus, I think the blooms were kind of a darker pink, if I remember correctly. All right, and so on the inside of the card, I am going to stamp the second generation, stamp the image of the balloon and the basket. And I think I might have forgot to take my basket stamp out, so let me grab that. And bear with me here. Thought I was prepared. That always happens. This Band-Aid is really handicapping me. I was cleaning my scissor blades with rubbing alcohol, and yep, sliced my finger right open. That was not fun. So this is our inside panel, and I am going to second generation stamp the balloon and the basket onto this panel. With some of these larger surface stamps, I noticed that I wasn't getting a super clean stamped image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sponge dauber and just dip it kind of in the ink pad and just kind of blot that across the stamp surface, just so that I get more even coverage, hopefully. And let's see how that does. I'm going to stamp that off once and then go ahead and stamp onto my panel here about the middle. We'll shoot for middle and see how that goes. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my basket up. A light salmon color. It really was beautiful. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp my basket here just below the balloon, and that was second generation stamped as well. There we go. And then my inside sentiment. Hey Sharon, no worries. You're driving. Be safe driving. My inside sentiment is up, up and away. Hooray! It's your birthday. And I'm going to full strength stamp that in Fresh Freesia. And I'm going to aim, we'll see how I do here. I'm going to aim to get that kind of centered in the middle of the balloon there, our balloon image. So let's see how I do. And straight. Straight would be nice as well. And that looks pretty good to me. We'll take that. Alrighty, and then just one more thing to stamp, and that is our balloon on the front of our card. Let me grab that image back again. I'm going to re-ink. You know, I don't know if maybe I have dust or something on my ink pad, and that's why I'm having trouble getting a good image on this stamp set. Although I do see it kind of bubbling up. So I'm not sure why that is, because I did clean this stamp really well. We'll see how it does. Just kind of giving it a nice tap all over, just to get that ink distributed well on that stamp surface. And let's see how that does. And I'm just going to partially stamp this onto my envelope front. And I'm full strength stamping the balloon. Oh my goodness, Faith. You well, that was not a good stamped image. So let me grab another envelope and give that a try. They actually cut your thigh. You dropped them. My goodness. Well, it was not my paper snips. While they are sharp, you know, I'm just going to try this without the sponge dauber and see how I do. Let's try this again. And I need to pay attention here just briefly to try and get that to stamp out nicely, hopefully. These were actually my ribbon scissors, and I had noticed that it looked like they had gook on them, which they should not have, because I only use them for ribbon. That's it. So I'm going to stamp off this kind of decorative center to the balloon and then stamp onto my envelope. So that second image did come out better. On my envelope, so we're good there. Yeah, these were my That's not a perfect image, but I'm going to take it. I think I need to clean my stamps just a little bit better maybe, but we're going to go with that. So that is it for the stamping. Yeah, these were my ribbon scissors, which are extremely sharp. Yeah, that was not a fun thing at all. I'm going to go ahead and mat my inside panel, adhere it to a white mat, because that's what I used on the front of the card. And it just gives it a little bit of dimension. But let me get that adhered together. Try to get an equal reveal all the way around. I think that's pretty good. And we'll get this glued to the inside of our card. As soon as I find what I did with the inside of the card, there we go. But yes, scissors you need to be careful with. I couldn't believe I did it, and I did a pretty good number on my finger. I wasn't paying enough attention, and that's what happens. Alrighty. Go ahead and drop this in place. Did I get, yeah, okay, I'm good here. And again, I need to just, this is why I like liquid adhesive. I like that little bit of wiggle room. Although the bandage is handicapping me here a little bit. All right. Next, I want to add some twine, and I'm going to wrap it around the book binding portion of the card before I adhere this section down to the card base. So I'm going to go ahead and just wrap that around a couple of times. So this is part of the suite, this Baker's Twine, and there are 3 colors in the pack. There is a Balmy Blue, Lemon Lolly, and then I'm just making sure I have enough to tie a bow there. That looks like it should be good. Balmy Blue, Lemon Lolly, and Flirty Flamingo in the pack of twine. So pretty pastel colors to go with that pretty paper in this suite. So there are the colors. And then we have matching embellishments as well. So I'm just going to tie I've wrapped this twice. Just going to tie a simple bow, I hope. We'll see how I do. See if I can hold that knot and get this tied without letting it loosen up on me. Made out pretty good, not too bad. I've got a short end here. I might have to do something a little bit creative. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough to tie a bow. Doggone it. Let me try that again. I will save that piece of twine for something else. Let's try that again. I think I just didn't unwrap my twine enough. That was the problem. To leave myself enough here. All right. Round 2. Make sure I have enough. Probably too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough when it comes to tying bows. Make sure I have enough there. I think that's going to be sufficient. You know what? I'm struggling here. Why don't I just grab my tweezers? There we go. That helps. Gives you a third hand. Whoops. Well, I am challenged today for sure. There we go. Now I think we can tie our bow. And I don't want a super huge bow, but I do want it large enough so that it shows up. There we go. And I'll just give those ends a quick trim. Now we can go ahead and open up our card base. And I'm going to go ahead and let me fix my twine here, kind of make sure it's in the center there. Open up the card base, and I'm going to apply glue here just on this 4 1/8 by 1 1/8 section. And I'm making sure to get some glue on that twine as well, just so that it can kind of hold down. And we'll give that a good press. Yeah, I do like the pastel colors. So soft and pretty. So this, you know, this set definitely makes for great birthday cards, thinking of you cards, friendship cards, for sure. All right. And so now we have our book binding completed on our card. I have, as I mentioned, pre-cut some pieces here. I'm going to adhere some little clouds onto my card front and just, I think, place them around kind of like that. Let me get these glued down. Yeah, so these items will be available on January 4th, which is just about, I don't know, a week and a half or so away. So they will be available from the new catalog on the 4th, which is pretty exciting. And there's some great, great, great new products coming in this catalog. I've really enjoyed, you know, doing the kind of the sneak peeks on them. And I'm going to overlap that little cloud here on the left. And let's get this one adhered down. And I think right about there. Trying to get my bases, my cloud bases somewhat straight. There we go. Alrighty. So I had my sentiment label here, and here is my pre-cut banner. I'm going to adhere this onto to the banner with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Get those little covers off. And I'm really having a hard time with the fact that it is going to be a new year soon. I don't even know where 2023 went, let alone it being, you know, going into another new year. That's crazy. And I'm just trying to get that as straight as possible. And it stuck on me before I was ready for it to stick. Well, let me see if I can get that carefully peeled away. Oh, thank you so much, Rosie, for the shout out. I appreciate it. Sometimes it's just easier just to do that. Okay, there we go. And here is my little balloon that I pre-cut and my basket that I pre-stamped and pre-cut. I'm going to go ahead and adhere the basket on. And I'm just going to apply glue to the tips of the top of that basket and flip my balloon over here and give that a press down and make sure that it is straight. Tiny little things to work with. And I'm still trying for straight here. There we go. Okay, good enough. And then I'm going to glue our banner directly to the balloon. And you will see here that this, and I'm only applying glue to the center of that banner because these little banner tips will hang off the balloon. So you want to make sure that you don't, you know, get glue past that. But the sides, the curved sides on this banner will fit on that balloon. If I can get my fat hands out of the way here. Let me see here. So you can see that they curve, it curves nicely to the sides of the balloon. And now I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals here on the back of our balloon and basket, and we'll adhere this to the card front with some more Stampin' Dimensionals. There we go. Get rid of our little dimension covers here. So does anyone have plans for New Year's Eve? We always stay in on New Year's Eve. It gets too crazy on the roads. People out partying and driving, which is not a good combination. So we always stay home. We, you know, usually maybe fix some snacks or something like that. So my balloon here, I want to center on my front panel here from right to left and top to bottom. I'm going to overlap that one little cloud there on the right and stick that down. And we are almost done here. You'll be happy if you can stay awake. Yeah, that's my problem, Karen, because I can't. I almost never see New Year's and the ball drop. Hardly ever. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. Okay, and these are the rainbow adhesive back dots that are included with the Lighter Than Air suite, and such beautiful pastel colors. And you get lots of colors in this. So these are all the colors that are included in the Designer Series paper that go with the suite as well. And I'm going to grab some of these fresh freesia dots, and I think we'll just go ahead and put 3 of these around the card front and do our envelope, and we will be done with our card for today. So such a pretty suite of products, you know, that are coming in the catalog. Can't wait for you to see them all. So the only thing we have left to do here is to add a piece of Designer Series paper to our envelope flat and give that a trim. So Rosie, you stay home close to 1 p.m. on New Year's and until afternoon on New Year's Day. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a smart thing to do. But I have to say that when we were younger, we were out there. We used to go out on New Year's Eve many years ago. All right, just adding my Designer Series paper. Give that a good press down, and we'll give it a trim. Oh, your parents had a party when you were growing up. Yeah, I don't think my parents never had parties. Not on New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve was kind of, everybody would stop over to my parents' house on Christmas Eve, and that was a lot of fun. When the kids were little, that was a whole lot of fun. You know, just getting everybody together. And people would just drop in, you know. Alrighty, let me get around this corner here if I can. Some days are more challenging than others. But that is our card for today. So a book fun fold card using the Lighter Than Air suite from the upcoming mini catalog, available January 4th. And don't forget the clearance rack items, and don't forget the last chance items. The last chance items, you only have till January 3rd to grab those discounts on items. So, you know, that's like a little less than a week and a half away. So be sure to check those out in the online store. Karen, you said you have pork a pork meal at midnight. So we always have pork on New Year's Day because it's supposed to be good luck. And I do actually have a pork tenderloin in the fridge that we will most likely have for our New Year's Day dinner. But anyway, listen, I want to thank you so much for joining. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining, and I will see you back here next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for another card tutorial. Listen, everybody, have a safe and happy New Year's. Wishing you all peace and prosperity in the new year. Have a good one. Bye-bye.